our YouTube channel now. I have the dogs with me today. Becky has gone to the pub for the evening, and so if they start making some noises, I wholeheartedly apologise. I just need to record this, and I've got a bit of time at half time of the Chelsea Wolves match. It is 3-0 to Chelsea, so I thought I'm not really that fussed if I come back and they've already kicked off. I think we're doing absolutely fantastic. Although Sky Sports have put the Burnley logo instead of the Chelsea logo. What's going on here? What's happening? It's meant to be the Chelsea logo. Anyway, today what we're going to do is a bit of a tier list, if it were, of the Premier League season so far. Not necessarily like a prediction by any stretch, but more, do I think they are over or underachieving this season? Now, we have 5 segments of which I will show them to you in a moment's time. We have a complete overachiever. We have doing well. Sorry, I got something in my eye. We have mid. We have underachieving, and we have what on earth are you doing? So let me just get this set up into the colours that I want. Here we go. I'm just going to quickly pour myself a drink with what is left of my Pepsi. Swansea with a great first goal. A fantastic first goal against Man City tonight. Absolutely fantastic. There we go. We've got probably enough for another glass tonight. I have actually, by the way, put 36 and a half hours into Football Manager already. If not more, because I played it this afternoon as well. Just as an FYI for you guys, would you like to see a save? An FM save? It will be posted on Saturday nights. If you are up for it, let me know. Please drop a like on today's video. Leave a comment down below if it's something that you'd be interested in. It'd be like, I play it, and then I do like a start of the season roundup, a mid like November, October to November, and then I'll do a December roundup, then I'll do a January transfer thing, then I'll do a mid to the end of the season, then I'll do an end to this. So start November, start transfer deadline day, mid-November, December, January, mid to the end of the season, end of season, 7 to 8 episodes, depending on if we're in like cup finals and things like that. But 7 to 8 episodes per season, if I can. And then we'll go through things like that. I'll do a bit of a roundup of what's happened, and then I'll play like a few games and things like that. If that is something you're interested in, let me know. If not, I'm tempted to make a ASMR Football Manager channel. Fuck off Clem's plays and just do FM. Or don't even do ASMR and just start doing some Football Manager content, because it's like my most played game now. Is what I play the most. So that would be quite good. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into today's video. We have all of the teams below me, Bournemouth all the way down to Man City, because that's obviously in alphabetical order, and we're going to be talking about how I think they're doing based on goals and results and things like that, and more importantly, league position. So we're starting with Bournemouth. Bournemouth are currently sat in 2nd place. I think they are completely overachieving after losing the likes of Zabani. They lost. Who was it lose this season? Who went to? Oh my god! Let me go. I'm blanking for 2 seconds. Here we go. Except Zabiani, Huijsen, Milos Kerkez and Utara. They're the 4 that I was thinking of. Utara going to Brentford, big. Milos Kerkez going to Liverpool. Huijsen obviously going. oyster sauce. Obviously going to Real Madrid and Zibiani going to PSG. For a total, by the way, of £200 million is outrageous. And still managing to pick up the second place. Eli Krupi has been absolutely fantastic. I think Petrovic has been very good in goal for them. Who else do I think? Adley's been good, hasn't he? But obviously Semenyo has been absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So I can't really put them anywhere other than complete overachieving. They've been doing absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. Senesi, Milicevic at centre back's been very good. Obviously the likes of Scott and Adams have been very well. Kluivert has been good, but Krupi and Semenyo have been out of this world. It's been absolutely fantastic. Why do they decide to fight with each other now? So, moving on to Arsenal, I genuinely believe that they are in the best position that they've been in 20 years in terms of winning the league. They are already in first. They are on 22 points, so they are already 4 points clear at the top. And they're only ahead of Bournemouth, Tottenham and Sunderland, and Man City and Man United and Liverpool. So, a lot of them teams aren't going to be pushing for the title. So actually they're in a really, really good spot. Now, having won 1, won 7, drawn 1 and lost 1, I think they've done very well. But it is where we expect them to be. We expect them, now that they've got the squad depth, to be performing very, very well. And so I don't think that they are completely overachieving. I don't think they're mid, because mid would put them 5th to 2nd, which is a position where we expect them to be. Because of that, I am going to put them in doing well. Moving on to Aston Villa. Now, I've just had a look and they're in 8th. I thought they'd started the season really poorly. I thought that they'd gone on this run of obviously not scoring, which they did. Oh, Wolves have almost scored there. Sorry, I've just had to run downstairs and I'm out of breath. Anyway, but since that, they've been on a 4-game winning streak and then a draw before that. So out of the past 5 games, they've won 4, drew 1. I'd like to have seen them do better, but at the same time, they have sort of picked up their form since. I think I'm going to put them in mid. I'm going to put them in mid just because they had a rough start and they've had a good response, okay? I think they're pretty bang out. I'm expecting them to be 7th to 10th. They're in that sort of best of the rest category anyway. So at the end of the day, sorry, Chelsea are on the attack. No, it's gone. I expect them to be in the best of the rest. That is where they are. They've had a good run of form recently, so it looks like their luck is improving. And yeah, they've done okay. Next we have Burnley. Burnley are in 16th. Obviously we expect the likes of Burnley and the promoted sides to be in that sort of 20th to 16th, 17th category. Because of that, I'm going to put them in mid. No, I'm not. I'm going to put doing well. They're 16th. They're actually 5 points clear of relegation at the moment, which currently sits Forest, West Ham and Wolves. Above that is Fulham and Burnley. So Wolves have just scored. Jeez. I missed that. Oh, it was a dodgy pass. And people just not getting back to defend. Wow, okay. That was really poor defending. Anyway. So yeah, they're doing well. They're 5 points clear. They're actually doing quite well, actually. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Chelsea currently sit 9th We've had a good run in the Champions League so far-ish. We have, we've put in some okay performances in the league. We lost to Sunderland, which wasn't great. We've had a few iffy results. I'm going to put us as underachieving. After winning the Club World Cup, I had a bit of an expectation as to how the league should have gone. And so far, we haven't lived up to that. We haven't found the levels of consistency. And that's why I'm putting us as underachieving. I don't think we've necessarily played all that bad at times. I also think there's been games where we've looked very good and at our best. There has been games where we've not looked on it at all and we've lost. There's games, again, where we've just not turned up and been outplayed by lesser teams. It's the inconsistency for me that means I think we're underachieving. If we were, say, 5th or 6th, we'd had a good few results, and the ones that we had lost were because of like one late goal. I'd have probably put us mid, but they haven't been. There has been games where we have underachieved. The games where we have done well, we have just done well. Okay? So, I think at the minute we're underachieving completely. But you never know, by the end of the season we might have a Carabao Cup, we might have a Champions League trophy, who knows. Moving on to Crystal Palace, where are they at the moment? 10th. I think Oliver Glasner's been doing well with the team that he's had. I think losing Elise 2 seasons ago and Eze last season hasn't been the best for him. I also don't think like they're not a Bournemouth or a Brighton or a Brentford where they have this sort of philosophy of bringing a specific type of player or looking at specific analytical stats to bring in players. So when you lose a player like that, I don't think that there's a ready replacement that can just come in and hit the ground running, whereas the likes of Brighton, Brentford and Bournemouth do. So because of that, I'm going to hold them to a little bit of a better standard. No, I'm going to hold them to a lesser standard and think they have had a few things they've had to adapt at the start of the season. Now, if I say Crystal Palace, I immediately think mid-table. They are smack bang mid-table, so I am going to put mid. I think they are performing to the average level that I would hold them to. They have won 3, drawn 4 and lost 2. That is probably the most mid of results ever. Out of 9, you've got 3, 4 and 2. The only way it could be less mid or more mid is 3, 3 and 3, which at Dockham 2 points in it had actually put them 14th, which I would then say is underachieving. So I don't think they could be more mid if they tried. Everton, let's look at Everton. Everton are in 14th. After having a really promising start to the season. Where was it? Lost 1-0 to Leeds, but then beat Brighton, beat Mansfield, beat Wolves. Drew to Villa, lost to Liverpool, lost to Wolves in the 3rd round of the Cup, drew to West Ham, beat Crystal Palace, lost to Man City and lost to Tottenham. Again, where are they? 14th. It's weird because I think Everton should be a lot higher than 14th. So on that basis, you would think I'd put them underachieving. But knowing the last couple of seasons and where they've been, I think you're probably at the level that you're actually at. I don't, as a club, as a whole, I think the last couple of seasons you've completely underachieved. However, I think knowing where you have been the last couple of seasons, and we're only basing it on this season, I think you have been mid. I think that you've done okay for where you're at this moment in time. So yeah, I think I'm going to put them mid. Leeds are in 15th. Again, a promoted side, 3 wins, 2 draws, 4 losses. So more losses than wins, which is fair enough. Oh, it's all kicking off in the Wolves match now. Who's punched who? Someone's gone down. I'm assuming someone's tackled Lavia and we've reacted badly because of it. Oh, that is a flipping horror challenge on a guy that's been injured for so long. And then Hwang Hee-chan shoves Tosin in the chest. If Tosin gets any sort of comeback from that, that's ridiculous. If Tosin gets a yellow card, it's going to be ridiculous because Hwang Hee-chan's just kicked Lavia. That should be a yellow card. And then pushed Tosin, so he should get another yellow card, in my opinion. I know that's me being slightly biased, but if you tackle someone and it's a yellow card tackle, and then you get up and then push someone else, that's two separate incidences in my head. And if Tosin gets any sort of comeback, it's going to be ridiculous, because all he did was go over and say, "What are you doing? That's not on," and has been pushed in the chest again. Anyway. Leeds. Let's go back to Leeds. 15th. They are, like we said, any of the teams that come up and be promoted, we are expecting in the bottom 5. They're actually the bottom 6. So I'm going to put doing well. I think they are doing well. I think for the first time in a long time, and I actually made this in my prediction, I think at the start of the season, I said that I don't think the teams that have come, I don't think we'll do it 3 in a row where the teams that are promoted get relegated straight away. How right have I been so far? I think if Leeds carry on this form, I think that's going to be what they'd class as probably a successful season. So on that basis, I'd say they're doing well. Sunderland are currently sat in 4th place with 17 points. They are completely overachieving. I feel like someone is playing Football Manager in the background, and what you've done is you hit the Premier League, you've gone after all the wonder kids and bought some absolutely solid choices in the meantime as well. You've bought the likes of Jordan he's at Brentford, isn't he? Xhaka. You've brought the likes of Granit Xhaka, a absolutely solid midfielder. And what you've got is you've got a team of players that have just banded together and gone, we will play for each other here and do exactly what is expected, and we will run and we will play good football and we will press, because what the Premier League likes is high tempo, highly physical pressing play. And it is fantastic. And they're doing very well. And it's not even close to what we expected from Sunderland. They're not just doing well, they are completely overachieving at this point. It is fantastic. They are more points than Manchester City. It's outrageous. Outrageous. 6-11. Yeah, it's outrageous. Moving on to Man United, 16 points. They've won 3 in a row. We might be 4 in a row if we're counting like club competitions and things like that. Arsenal have just scored as well. So again, doing well. They're against Brighton though. Good goal. Who scored that? Assist by Lewis Skelly, scored by, is that Wanyeri? I can't quite see. I don't particularly recognise him. I don't know. Anyway, Man United, 6th position. I'd think at this season, if you say they're in 6th, I'd probably say they're mid. I think that's where we expect them to be at this stage. But given, again, I'm going to use the Everton analogy, given how bad we know their previous seasons have been, last season specifically, the regime under Amorim, and the fact that they've really relied on their new players coming in and that they've recruited correctly, which they seem to have done, I'm actually going to say they're doing well. I think from where they were at the end of last season to where they actually are now, I think we have seen improvements. We have seen a much more, I was going to say solidified squad, but the settled squad is what I'm going to go with. That we have seen a much more settled squad that seem to be playing really cool football. Moving on to Newcastle. I'm going to put them in underachieving. I wholeheartedly believe... Oh, I thought that was another goal. I wholeheartedly believe that Isak leaving has left an absolute dark mark over that club. I think they were really setting up for some good historical making seasons the past few years. They've had the takeover, they've recruited really well, they've pulled in some world-class players, and they've built a ridiculously solid formation. a really solid structure of a squad to progress under, and it's all sort of capitulated under Isak leaving, Voltemade coming in, who's actually hit the ground running, but he's not a star man that will win games. I think he's a solid player. I think he's the Ibrahimovic regen of our generation. So I rate him, but as a club, they are sitting 12th on 12 points. They are 3 wins, 3 losses, 3 draws. And if this was Crystal Palace or Burnley or Leeds, I'd have a different opinion. But this is the new Newcastle, okay? This is the Newcastle where people are starting to expect decent results. And that to me is not only very mid, but below where they should be, so underachieving. Moving on to Spurs. Spurs are actually in 3rd place, playing some really, really attractive football under Thomas Frank. Playing some really solid football under Thomas Frank. Maybe not attractive football, definitely not attractive football, but some good football under Thomas Frank. And the fact they're in 3rd, again, another one of these teams with Man United where last season had a really, really bad showing. And therefore, I can't hold them to the value. I think they should be in the top 4, but given last season's results, I can't hold them to the ability of being a top 4 team. Oh, Liam Delap's coming on. He's back from injury. That's good. And Cucurella's coming on. And so for that, I'm just going to put them in doing well. I don't think they're mid. I don't think they're overachieving, because I do believe with the money that the club has and the signings that the club have and just the squad the club has, I think that they should be up into the top 6 teams, and they are there. They're 3rd, so that's middle of the top teams. So you've got to be doing well to be there. Moving on to West Ham, they are 19th. Only a number of seasons ago were they winning the Conference League and their first European trophy. They have capitulated. They have made some incredible signings and have not got a manager to really build them together. They have just got in who I think is one of the best managers the Premier League will have seen in Nuno Espirito Santo, whatever it is. And I think if anyone can work miracles with the team, it is him. I think he will get them playing some very attractive football, as he was at Forest, but I don't necessarily think that West Ham have the players for that at this stage in time, so it might take until January and a few more additions and outgoings for that to really start to take effect. That being said, the previous manager has left them in ruins. They've got 1 win and 1 draw and 7 losses, which is not acceptable for a team like West Ham United, who I believe are a solidified mid-table Premier League team, and so really should be doing better. Not only are they underachieving by not being mid-table, they are second bottom. 4 points afloat, so it's not as if they win and jump up. They've got to win 2 games to even jump out of the bottom, and even then that puts you on 8. That would actually put you on 10 points, which is level with Burnley, and you'd still be close to relegation. So it is what it is, and in the same vein, I think Wolves in the past couple of years have sort of again solidified themselves as a mid-table team. We are not seeing that in this side. They're on 2 points, the bottom of the table, with a yet to pick up a win. Chelsea are battering them in the Carabao Cup with, let's be honest, what is our second team? Absolutely, what on earth are you doing? Where is the direction of the football club going? Yes, they have played some good football. They need to start winning games. What on earth are you doing? At Brighton, 13th place. Now, do I think Brighton are a mid-table team? Yes. I think they should be getting anywhere between 7th and 12th. They're in 13th. They don't quite make it for me. I'm going to put them in underachieving. This is one of the teams over the past sort of 4 to 5 years where we can say, actually, we see the direction of the team, we see what's going on, we see what's happening, and we see new players join and young players come through. But one thing that gets me is you have a really top talent in the likes of Evan Ferguson, and he's currently loaned out, if not permanently moved. I can't remember if he permanently moved to Roma, which baffles me. He's valued at 25 mil. Yeah, no, he's loaned out. He's loaned out to Roma. And you're sticking with Danny Welbeck. Now, Danny Welbeck is a solid mid-table player. You've lost the likes of João Pedro, so you've lost another one of your star strikers. So if you brought someone in, no one's really performed. I can't believe is meant to be your next best £100 million signing that you can get rid of and generate money for. And he's looked really bad. Last couple of games, he's looked pretty bad. So I'd say you're underachieving. Fulham sat in 17th. Again, I'm going to have to put them in underachieving just because I think they are. I think they should have a better squad than they do. I feel like they went through, when they first got promoted, then relegated, it's because they spent way too much money on signings that didn't make sense. They then managed to come back up and then they solidified really well. And they've stuck in the Premier League. And the last couple of seasons, they've gone, you know what? I've seen a few players where I thought, wow, I can see what direction the club's going in. Similar to the likes of Brighton. And your Crystal Palaces and whatever. And your Bournemouth. But this season, it seems to have just sort of fallen apart a bit. It's like something's just not quite right. And I feel like at some point a manager's going to go. And then some of the key players are going to go. And actually, they're not performing to the standards that I think they should be. Oh, here we go. So yeah, I just think I expect a little better. I expect, especially from 17th. Like, I expect better than 17th for Fulham. Like 17th is where your Leeds and your Burnleys and potentially your Everton should be, and your Sunderland and your, there's many a team that should be towards that. Moving on to Brentford. Brentford are 11th. I expect them to be mid-table. They are mid-table. They've lost a key manager. They have brought in an inexperienced manager that's doing very well with them, might I add. They have lost some key players. They've also recruited well, so the balance is rebalanced, and I don't expect anything less. Voldemort has just scored for Newcastle. So that's Spurs doing a Spursy thing. So Brentford have run a Brentford. They've used analytics and brought in key players, and it's just steadied the ship, which is brilliant, which is what I think they should have done this season. So they've done what they should have done. Doesn't mean they've overachieved, doesn't mean they've underachieved. They're just mid, and I salute them for it. Nottingham Forest, what are you doing? You've gone through 3 managers in 9 games. 3 managers in 9 games. I can't believe it. I really, really do hope that Sean Dyche is the man to save the ship. He's a Nottingham lad. He lives in Nottingham. He played for Forest. He didn't play under Cloughy, but he didn't get to make his debut that year. But he isn't the guy to progress you. He's the guy to steady a sinking ship. Nuno was that guy. He's no longer available. And it's a shame because he'd done so many good things getting us into Europe, and you seem to have faltered. Marinakis has ruined what would have been a brilliant legacy for the club. Promoted, survived, European football. Could be death. After all that, it could be one of the most volatile ups and downs you'll have ever seen in the league. Anyway, enough said about that. Complete underachieving this season. 18th in the relegation spots, 3 points from safety. We've done okay in Europe under Sean Dyche midweek. We obviously lost to Bournemouth. what is a very solid Bournemouth squad, so I can't really complain at that. Liverpool, 7th, I think underachieved. I think last season, it shows that last season they were just running on a very well-oiled machine. Since coming back, Slot has tried to put his own thing on, own sort of twist on things. The new signings have been integrated in not very well either. The likes of Kirkes and Florian Wirtz don't really seem to have gelled. Frimpong's now injured. He hasn't seemed to have had a quality game under Slot so far. So your three major signings in Kirkes, Frimpong and Wirtz, there's 160 million between them there, if not more. Have we seen that? No, we haven't seen the quality of them. Definitely underperforming at 7th. Definitely underachieving. And Man City, 5th. I'm actually going to put them mid. I don't think they've had the best of season the last 2 seasons. I'm not holding them to the Mahrez Phil Foden, Rodri level team that they have been in the past couple of seasons. I know last season Rodri got injured and it put a scupper to their plans, and they didn't really have that central midfielder. Obviously De Bruyne has left. That is a massive loss for them. So I think we're waiting for a player to really grab Man City by the neck. I don't think Haaland's that man. I think he needs to be fed. I know he's top goal scorer still this season, but I still think he is that type of player that needs to be fed. He won't just drag a team to win a league. In the past, it has been. Honestly, it should have been Cole Palmer. I think they're almost like they're seething at the fact that Cole Palmer is this huge star now, and that could have been the new De Bruyne, because Foden isn't looking like that type of player. Grealish is obviously on loan at Everton. They really have lost that creative touch. Ryan Shirky has been brought in to hopefully do that job, but he's a bit of a different style of attacking midfielder, so I'm not too sure personally. That's going to end it for me. How do you feel like? Do you think this is correct? Would you change anything specifically? Do you think that any of these have actually been... Like at Fulham, I can understand if you want to put them into mid. Liverpool mid. Newcastle mid, given what's gone on. But I do think these are the underachievers. I do think these are the overachievers. / doing very well. And it pains me to put a few of these here. But it is what it is. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll catch you later. Goodbye.